like to introduce to you Mr. Billy Graham.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here. I was just brought into the studio. I've been doing a television program, and they said you were up here and said you might welcome me.
Well, I welcome you with open arms. I'm just delighted that you
And you were talking on a very interesting subject, because at least all those places you called I've been to in France. My daughter married a French.
Is that right?
Swiss, a French Swiss.
How large a family do you have? How many children?
I have 5 children. 3 of them are married, and we have 6 grandchildren and 1 more on the way. And I have a 10-year-old grandson.
Good heavens!
So I'm getting up there.
No, you know now.
Do you think people know who you're talking to?
I just said Billy Graham.
Oh, did you?
Didn't I say that? I don't know.
Missed it. I missed
Well,
it. Because
I'll be glad to introduce myself. I've been introduced all sorts
unaccustomed
of
as
ways.
you are to public speaking, you look so very young.
Well, thank you very much. Now, you've made my day.
Well, you really do. And you talk about grandchildren, and my heavens, you don't look 40 years of age.
Well, thank you very much, but I'll be 55 next week while I'm here in St. Louis.
He's older than I am.
No one is older than you are. I saw you once many years, not that many years ago, in 1951 in northeast Texas somewhere.
Yes, that's right. I would have been there. Is that a fact?
Yes, I went to a meeting which you presided, or 51, how many years ago is that? 20?
Well, that would be 22.
That's right, in Lamar County, Texas.
In Lamar County, think of that.
Northeast of Dallas.
Now, there's a very interesting story in Lamar County that when Lyndon Johnson was running for Senate, there was a young student there that was manager of his campaign in Lamar County, and he expected to lose Lamar County by about 300 or 400 votes. But this young student was so energetic that they won the county by 250 votes. And, of course, Lyndon Johnson only won by 86 votes, the whole state of Texas. So he attributed to this young student the fact that he won the Senate race. This young student is now my pastor. He's the pastor of a church in my little community where I live in North Carolina.
What is his name?
His name is Calvin Thielman. And
sakes.
so the president had him up there many times when he was in Washington.
Well, now, you've had great opportunities to be privy to the inner councils. You have spent time in Washington, certainly with President Johnson and with President Nixon, too. I wonder if I'd put you on the spot to ask how disturbed you are about the proceeding, what's going on today, the situation that exists in Washington today, the feeling across the country about well, Watergate is the word, of course, that comes to mind.
Well, I think that Watergate is a very terrible thing. I think the president himself has said that it's sordid. He's used as strong a language, I suppose, as can be used without actually using profanity to describe his own feelings about it. And, of course, I think the people are disturbed, and many of them are discouraged and disillusioned. And what, of course, is most disturbing is what it'll do to a generation of young people as far as confidence in government is concerned. But I take 2 newspapers from London every day, the London Times and the London Telegraph. And Sunday, a week ago, the Sunday Telegraph in London had an editorial that was a letter to America. And it was a very interesting editorial because it said that no president in history had ever been unraveled like this or ever been scrutinized like this, and said that they doubted if any one of our 36 former presidents could have come out unscathed in such a scrutiny. Now, this is perhaps good and it's perhaps bad. I think it's going to have a cleansing effect. I think it's going to upgrade the moral standards of political leaders in the future, at least for a while. And I'm hoping that if you can say good comes from bad, that good will come. And I personally am optimistic. I think that we have a great country and a strong country. We've survived many shocks this year. This has been one of the most shocking years in American history as far as emotions are concerned. And I think that we have a great group of young people who are turning to God in the country. I think there's the greatest turning to God in the history of this country. And to me, as a preacher, it's a great moment to preach the gospel and to tell people there is hope, because that hope is centered in Jesus Christ.
Are there more young people coming to you looking for God today than there were 10 years ago, 15
Oh,
years
definitely.
ago?
Yes, sir. 10 years ago, 60% of our audience were middle-aged people. Today, 60 to 70% are under 25 years of age. And this is a big switch in the last few years. Young people are searching for purpose and meaning. They want something they can sink their teeth into, and that's why Jesus Christ Superstar and Godspell and all of these things are so popular today. People are searching. That's why the Guru Maharaja, in which we've had a visit of Divine Light Mission people in St. Louis in the last few hours, that's why he has big crowds, is because people are searching. Whether it's in Eastern mysticism or occultism or in true Christianity, there's a search on in this country for purpose and meaning and for something that they can believe in.
Would that explain the drug situation? Is that something that the young people must try in their search?
I think so. I think that the drug scene is a part of their search. There's a search especially a few years ago. I think now most young people are educated to the dangers of drugs. And I think when they take it, they know that they are subjecting themselves to some dangers. That was not true, say, 5 years ago when we had the Timothy Leary and the people, Timothy Learys and people of that sort that were advocating the use of drugs. But I think that today that young people are using it as an escapism many times. And of course, younger young people down in the grade school level are using it just for kicks or because they see older students who are there using it. I'm sorry, I must go because I'm to be on a TV program in just about 17 minutes. And
Well,
I'm
just thrilled that you had a moment to come in.
Is everything set for your meetings here?
Yes, as far as I know, we have everything in order. We have marvelous cooperation from the churches. I think the arena is one of the most beautiful places I've ever preached in, and I congratulate whoever redid that arena.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big change from the place we were in when I was here 21 years ago.
Well, Billy Graham, thank you for
Well,
coming.
thank you for the
It
privilege.
was a pleasure.
And
you're
I hope
welcome
you'll come to
anytime.
the crusade.
I promise I shall.
Well, thank you. I may just drop in any day.
You're welcome at any time.
You failed to get him 22 years ago in Lamar County.
You think maybe there's hope now?
Try again.
All right.
Second chance.
Thank you very much.
Billy, thank you so much.
Thank
It was so
you.
nice meeting
God
you.
bless you.
Bye-bye. Billy Graham, 17 minutes before 12 o'clock noon. Leo, let me ask you a question. How old are you now?
50 exactly.
50 years old.
Century.
When did you do the first movie, the Dead End Kid movie? When was the very first one done? I know you did other films, but when was the first Dead End Kid movie done?
1937.
1937. How many were done in that series?
With the group, just as well as I can remember, 9.
9 movies.
With the complete group.
Yeah. Now, there was Hunts Hall,
Gabriel Dell,
Gabe Dell,
Billy Hallop,
yeah,
Bernard Ponsley, who is now an MD, a doctor.
yeah,
He went the whole route. He didn't become a DO. He went MD.
yeah.
And how many have you got now?
That's 4, and you?
Bobby Jordan,
Bobby
who
Jordan.
incidentally is dead. Only
Yeah.
one of the group that is dead. He died 2 years ago. I went down to his funeral in Los Angeles. I live in Red Bluff, which is 600 miles from there.
Leo, wasn't Ronald Reagan in one of your movies? One of those
Ronald
films?
Reagan was in a couple of the movies.
He wasn't one of the Dead End Kids.
No. He was a referee in a hockey game we played.
Yeah.
And he was, I believe, the head of one of the crime school pictures we did, Bad Boys and things like that.
Yeah.
I think he was the director, the social director.
When we see those films today on television, when we see those films running, are you or any of the participants, are you still on any kind of a royalty basis, or have those long ago passed out of your hands?
I was on a royalty basis, but last year I sold out to a light artist because, well, 2 reasons. One, I needed the money.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite a good sum. I don't know. They were sending me checks monthly, and finally they sold the company and wanted to clear up all their accounts, and they bought me out for some, I don't know, $25,000 or $15,000 or something. I don't keep track of those things. My auditor does that.
But those 9 movies must have been a very, very lucrative thing for you.
No, we didn't get much money in the beginning.
Oh.
In Dead End, the highest paid actor of the children, I say children, they were children then, was Billy Hallop, who got $300 a week. I got $200 a week. Now, this is Dead End, the first movie we did.
Now, wait, let me just stop you at this. When you did Dead End, was there any idea that it would develop into a series, or was it just a movie?
Well, it didn't really develop into a series because 3 of the children, I say children again, because they were, went to Universal, and 3 of us went to Monogram, which was no longer, is now a Light Artist. My opening salary for the first picture I did at Monogram was $5,000 a week. And later it climbed up to $25,000 a week. The last picture I did, I got $25,000 for 8 days' work.
For heaven's sakes. And your first picture, you got $200 a week.
Yeah, it's quite a increase.
Quite.
Now I have an offer to go to Las Vegas, and they're going to give me $5,000 for 5 days' work, I believe. We haven't ironed out the details, but they'll give me anything I request, and I'm not greedy. And I like to gamble once in a while, so I'll probably just break even.
There must have been some other interesting people in the 1930s, motion picture people who appeared in some of the Dead End Kids movies who went on to become stars in their own right.
Well, actually, the only one that I can remember that was in Dead End that did real well for himself was Martin Gable. He was the henchman of the, the gangster, and I understand he has his own producing company and directs and acts and produces and does about everything you can do. What have you done in recent years, Lear? Are you retired? Are you out of the industry? I retired voluntarily. I wasn't fired. I just didn't like it. I never liked acting.
Yeah.
I did it to make a living, and as soon as I got a few bucks ahead, I decided to ranch because that's what I always wanted to do. Sounds strange for a fella from New York, but I always wanted a ranch, and I have about 7 of them now. I have 7 ranches up here. I raise everything.
For heaven's sakes.
Including a little H. Without saying a bad word.
Let me ask you something. Leo, were you raised in New York? Were you raised in the Hell's Kitchen type environment?
I was born and raised in New York until I was 20 years old when I took off for Hollywood.
And now you're writing a book besides.
Well, it's all done.
Oh, the book is finished.
As a matter of fact, I thought that you, do I have your address? I was going to send you a copy.
All right.
What's your name?
Carney, C-A-R-N-E-Y.
Carney.
First name Jack.
Jack Carney.
K-S-F-O.
K-S, what'd you say?
F-O.
K-S.
F-O.
F-O.
950 California Street.
950, you say?
950.
Right.
California Street, San Francisco. Now tell me a little bit about the book.
Well, it's an autobiography.
Is it about your life in the motion picture business, primarily?
I'll give you an idea. I'll read you the preface. It's very short.
Okay.
The book opens by saying, you're about to read a simple, cynical story of an actor who has been up and down more times than a yo-yo. Supposed to be yo-yo. I think I have pneumonia. With a great deal of love and respect, this book is dedicated to my many wives whose excuses for leaving me were that they had sacrificed themselves on the altar of love with my best friend. I have always figured that if a guy could take your wife away, he was automatically your best friend. That's the preface of the book.
When do you anticipate the book being in print, Leo?
It is now. I just read it.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
in print.
I thought you just were working on the manuscript.
Oh, no, it's sold in the first 3 months. It sold 1,300 copies, which I don't know whether it's good or bad.
Well, that shows you how unalert I am. What's the title of the book?
The title is Dead End Yells, Wedding Bells, Cockle Shells, and Dizzy Spells.
And that fills the first 4 pages.
And as I said before, the title's better than the book, I believe. But it just tells about all the experiences I had and all the people I met, and the most exciting, I tried to put the most exciting phases of the acquaintanceships into the book.
Would you ever go back into acting?
I don't want to, but I'm going to do 6 weeks in Las Vegas. I'm not sure what I'm going to do except collect a check. But they want me to do 6 weeks of personal appearances, and I never did like to do personal appearances. It just, well, I really can't do anything except write. I can't sing, and I can dance a little bit, but not well enough to do it professionally. And I guess I'll just have to try to clown my way through it and try to get a few jokes together or something.
Oh, I think you'll do all right. Leo, thanks for your time. I enjoyed talking to you.
Okay.
And send a copy of the book along. I'd like to see it.
I will.
Okay, thanks
All right,
again.
I'll talk to you later.
Right,
Bye.
bye-bye.